I chose you for this moment. Nothing in your life has been by accident. Nothing happened by chance. Every step you have taken so far has been watched over and guided by my hand. Even on the days when you felt alone, when tears fell quietly in the night and the weight seemed too much to bear, I was there. I saw every sigh of exhaustion, every prayer interrupted by doubt, every time you tried to believe even when you didn't see answers. None of this went unnoticed because my gaze has never left you. You have been chosen not to live an ordinary life, but to experience the extraordinary that comes from being in my presence. I know your questions have built up. Your mind is filled with doubt, and your heart has cried out for signs. Today I tell you, this is the sign. Today I speak to you clearly, directly, and personally. It's not by chance that you are here. It's not by chance that these words have reached you. I have arranged this moment so you can know that I am God and that I am still at work in your life. There is a time for every promise, and this is your time. What once seemed lifeless is starting to come alive. What once seemed blocked is now beginning to flow. What you thought was impossible is becoming possible, all because of my word. I'm not talking about distant dreams or unclear hopes. I am speaking about real changes that have already started happening for you. Doors that were once shut are now opening. Chains that once held you are now breaking. You have not been forgotten. You have been set apart, so today your heart can finally receive the answer you have been waiting for. I know there were many times when you thought about giving up. I know there were voices in your mind telling you that it wasn't worth it, that nothing would change, that heaven was silent. But I want you to know, even in those moments of silence, I was working. Even when you couldn't see anything happening, I was setting things in motion behind the scenes. Nothing in your life was still in my eyes. Every prayer you've raised, every tear that fell unnoticed, every battle fought in secret has been seen and recorded by me. And that is why I come now with authority and love to tell you, the time has come for you to take your first step of faith. I'm not asking for a grand display, and I'm not asking for something impossible. What I ask of you is a sign, a simple act, a small gesture that shows your heart is open. A natural step that becomes a spiritual declaration, a move that breaks the cycle of waiting and boldly announces before heaven and earth that you choose to trust me. That is why I ask you now, comment with faith in this moment, write it down as a sign that you are receiving this word. This action, which might seem small to your eyes, holds eternal significance in the spiritual world. When you speak with faith, you agree with what I've already revealed to you. You are saying, I believe, I receive, I will not ignore the voice of God in my life. It is like planting a seed in the fertile soil of my purpose, and this seed will bear fruit. I honor every act of faith, no matter how small. I celebrate when you choose to believe even when you cannot see the outcome, when you decide to take a step even when human guarantees are absent. Because this is how true faith shows itself, believing in what is invisible, trusting in my word, resting in the assurance that I will fulfill what I have promised. Do not underestimate the power of this moment. Many people spend their entire lives waiting for an answer, and you are facing that answer right now. What will bring about the harvest is not the strength of your hands, but the willingness of your heart. Your declaration of faith is not just words on a screen. It is a key. It opens doors that were once shut, removes obstacles that were holding you back, and reveals paths that were hidden. I want you to understand that I'm not speaking to entertain you. I'm speaking to activate you. I'm not offering you comfort alone, but a call to move. This is the beginning of a new season, A time when your faith will be tested and strengthened. A time when you will see the difference between the waiting days and the days of fulfillment. Your position today is like opening a door to a room filled with promises that have already been prepared for you. You don't need to see every detail or understand everything. Just trust and take the first step. Every act of faith you show will be multiplied by me. I do not look down on what seems small. I take it and I turn it into something great. I do not ignore your weaknesses. I transform them into strength. I do not run from your doubts. I transform them into strong beliefs. I am with you in this very moment. My voice does not just speak in your ears, but it speaks deep into your soul. This is the moment when eternity intersects with your story. Do not ignore this. Do not put it off. Do not wait for later to receive what I am offering you now. Every second in the spiritual realm is precious, and every action you take right now opens up new possibilities. So, I tell you once more, comment with faith in this moment. Declare that you receive it. Declare that you believe, that you recognize that it is I who am speaking to you. When you write, it's not just a response. You are taking a stand, and heaven responds to that stand. Your faith is not hidden from me. It rises as a sweet fragrance to my throne. I see what you write, I feel what you choose in your heart, and I honor your actions. Do not doubt, do not hesitate. This is the beginning of something extraordinary. Your comment is not just words, it is a prophetic key. It shows that you didn't ignore my voice, but accepted it with faith. And because of this, miracles begin to align, promises start to blossom, and your life will never be the same again. I speak to you now with love, but also with urgency. You have been asking for signs, looking for answers, and crying out for change. Today I tell you, this is your moment. This is the appointed time for things that have been dormant to start moving. Do not ignore my voice, because my word flows like a river, bringing life to everything it touches. But if you shut your heart, you may miss something greater than you can imagine. I am the God who controls times and seasons. Nothing escapes my eternal plan. There are promises you've held onto for years, prayers you've cried out with tears that seemed unanswered. Many times, you thought I wasn't listening, but I've always been listening. What seemed like a delay was preparation. What seemed like silence was work being done behind the scenes. And now, at the perfect moment, I am here to tell you, wake up, for the time has come. Do not think I speak to frighten you. I have not called you to live in fear, but to walk in faith. But you must understand that there are spiritual windows that open at the right time. These are moments that change lives, opportunities that transform story, and doors that do not always stay open. This is one of those moments. I stand before you, extending my hand and placing the key before you. If you take a step of faith, you will witness miracles. But if you choose to delay, you risk missing the movement that has already begun. What once seemed impossible is now becoming possible. I am breaking the chains that have been holding back your progress. I am opening doors that have been shut for years. I am shifting resources, people, and circumstances in your favor. None of this is by chance, it is the result of my faithfulness. What I have prepared for you does not rely on your understanding, your effort, or your limitations. It only depends on your response to my voice. That's why I say to you, do not remain still, do not hide behind excuses, and do not let doubt steal what I have already released for you. I do not just comfort you, I call you. I call you to a living faith, to real surrender, and to a posture that changes lives. When you respond to my word, you become a part of the fulfillment of the promises. Your yes opens the heavens. Your step activates the supernatural. I want you to understand something deeply. This message is not just for you. It's for you first, but it doesn't stop with you. I have called you to be a channel, an instrument, a voice that brings life to others. The same comfort I am pouring into you now, I want to reach those around you. The same fire I'm igniting in you, I want to spread through you. That's why I urge you to share this word now with faith. By sharing, you are not just sending a video, you are creating pathways for other lives to find hope. You are planting seeds in the spiritual realm. You are saying that you will not keep for yourself what I have revealed, but you have decided to be a channel for others to be touched. Your simple act of obedience, and I honor all acts of obedience, even the smallest ones. Right now, there are people crying out in silence, waiting for an answer. There are broken hearts, hurting families, and people who feel like there is no way out. When you obey and share, you become their answer. You can't even imagine how many miracles can come from your act of faith. I have already prepared those who are meant to receive this message. I have already aligned hearts that are ready to hear my voice. I just need you to take that step and plant the seed. Remember, I don't choose the strongest, but those who are willing. Don't underestimate yourself. Don't think you're too small to make a difference. Your act of faith reaches farther than you realize. Just as your prayer rose up to heaven and reached me, your act of sharing will now become the bridge that carries my word to others. I am multiplying what you have. I am turning your small gesture into a harvest. When you listen to my voice and obey, you make room for me to pour even more into your life. Don't think this is too simple. What seems simple in your hands becomes great in mine. What feels small to you becomes eternal in my sight. So I say again, don't overlook the urgency of this moment. What I have started to release is already in motion, and you are a part of it. Your response is already on its way. Your faith activates the promise. Your obedience makes the miracle grow. Share with faith now, knowing that this act is spiritual, prophetic, and powerful. I am with you, and everything you do in obedience will multiply. I am placing before you an open door. This isn't just any door, it is the door of the promise. No one can close it because I have opened it. Many have tried to stop your progress. They have spoken words against you, and they have set up obstacles, but none of these things have been able to stop what I've already prepared. Today, I declare that this door is before you, and the invitation is clear. Walk through it with faith. Walking through this door means leaving behind what no longer defines you. It means letting go of the limitations of the past and the mistakes you've carried for so long. It means choosing to trust, even when you can't understand every detail. Because faith doesn't rely on what you can see, it comes from knowing what is in my heart. I do not invite you to a distant promise. I invite you to live now what I have already made available. I know you've thought about giving up, that there were times when you believed there was no way out, but I want you to know that I have never abandoned you. I stayed with you when no one else did. I held you up when you had no strength. I was your safe place when everything around you seemed to fall apart. And today I tell you, this is your moment to trust again. This is the moment to step through the door that is opening before you. But stepping through the door requires a choice from you. I do not force you. I do not make you do it. I invite you. Your attitude is the key that unlocks the next chapter of your life. Do not overlook small gestures because they hold great power in the spiritual realm. When you choose to take a step of faith, I will handle the multiplication of your blessings. When you position yourself in obedience, I will move heaven and earth to make things happen for you. That's why I ask you now to show an act of trust. Click like and subscribe to this channel as a sign of your faith. Don't think of this as just a small detail. It may seem simple to you, but to me, it is a mark of your faith. Every time you act with faith, even in small ways, you are telling heaven, I receive, I believe, I trust. And heaven will respond to your stance. I take your actions and transform them into a testimony. I turn your attitude into a key that unlocks new miracles. When you choose to obey in the small things, I will trust you with bigger things. What starts today as a simple click will open doors, release resources, and bring victories into your life. Because what moves my hand is not the size of your actions, but the willingness of your heart. You are not walking alone in this journey. When you respond to my voice, my angels move on your behalf. When you take steps of faith, I clear the way for you. When you decide to trust me, I fill you with peace in your mind and courage in your heart. I will not leave you wandering. I guide you, strengthen you, and hold you up. Walking through this door is accepting that I have already taken care of your future. It is trusting that I have already provided what you need, that I have already set the circumstances in place, and that I have already granted the victory. You do not need to fear what is waiting for you on the other side, because I am the one who opens the door and walks with you. Your role is simply to respond. My role is to fulfill, and I am faithful in keeping every promise I have made. I want you to understand something important. This door is not just for you. When you decide to walk through it, the blessing will overflow to your family, your friends, and everyone around you. Your faith will bear fruit in many ways. The posture you take today will serve as a testimony tomorrow. Others will see the transformation in your life and will be moved to believe too. So, do not wait any longer. This is the right moment. This is the appointed time. Take that step forward in faith. Take the step I'm asking of you, and you will begin to see the impossible unfold. I am the God who honors every decision, every act of trust, every act of surrender. You will never be ashamed for believing in me. Instead, you will be lifted up because I will make a clear distinction between those who obey me and those who ignore me. So, once again, I tell you to click like and subscribe now as an act of faith. This small gesture is your response to my invitation. It is the seal that confirms before heaven that you have chosen to step through the door of promise. Do it confidently, because I see your heart, I hear your decision, and I will fulfill what you choose. The door is open, the path is set, and victory has already been released. All that remains is your response. When you act in faith, I will rise up in your name. Walk through this door with me, and you will never be the same. I know the weight you have carried quietly. I know how many times your heart broke in silence. How many times you smiled on the outside while a storm raged within. I saw every tear that fell on your pillow, every sigh of exhaustion, every thought when you wondered if it was worth it to keep going. None of those moments were unnoticed by me. I was there even when you felt alone, even when silence seemed like the only answer. I saw your sleepless nights when worry kept you awake. I heard your prayers mixed with tears, the ones you never spoke aloud but felt deep within. I saw you bend your knees when discouragement tried to silence your faith, when darkness seemed to take over. Yet you did not give up completely. Even with doubts, there was still a fire inside you that refused to die. Your perseverance has never gone unnoticed. Every time you chose to rise, even after falling, every time you continued to pray, even when it didn't feel right, every time you held on to belief in the face of disappointment, all of this has been recorded before me. You may have thought I was far away, but in truth, I was closer than you could imagine. I didn't just watch you, I held you through the weight that nearly crushed you. I understand the loneliness you felt when you were left behind. I know the betrayals that hurt you, the words that scarred you, and the promises made by people that were never kept. I know the injustice that silenced you, the judgmental looks, and the comparisons that made you feel small. But I also know the strength that grew in you through all of this. I see the character built, the faith refined, the hope that remained, no matter how faint. You were never invisible to me. Every action of yours, no matter how small, was seen. When you helped others without asking for anything in return, when you forgave those who wronged you, when you kept your heart open despite the pain, all of it brought me joy. Your story isn't just marked by pain, but by the courage to keep going. And I tell you, none of what you've gone through will ever be wasted. Every pain you felt will turn into strength, every tear will become a harvest, and every wound will become a testimony of victory. I do not look down on your humanity. I know that there were times when you stumbled, doubted, and even thought about giving up, but I also know that you chose to stay, and that choice has great value before me. Your resistance wasn't for nothing. Every step you took, even through pain, has brought you to this moment. And it is right here, at this point, that I meet you to say I saw it all, I recorded every moment, and I honor every part of it. Your perseverance has made way for what is to come. When you didn't see things changing, I was already moving the pieces behind the scenes. When you thought your prayers were unanswered, I was already preparing the answers. When you believed your voice would never reach the heavens, it was already before my throne. Nothing you did in faith was wasted. No prayer was ignored. No tear was without purpose. I am the God who turns pain into purpose. I am the God who turns what seemed like failure into victory. I am the God who writes new chapters when you thought your story had come to an end. I am the God who walks with you through the darkest valleys and leads you back into the light. I have never left you, and I never will. So I tell you, do not look back with regret. Do not view your past with shame. Look at the path you've walked and see how much you've endured, how much you've grown, and how much you've learned. You are stronger than you think, not because of your own strength, but because I have been with you every step of the way. Your perseverance did come just from your own will, but from my hand that held you when you could no longer go on by yourself. I recognize the pain you've carried and value the struggles you faced. I don't ignore the times you fell, but I celebrate the times you got back up. I don't blame you for the moments you doubted, but I embrace you for the times you chose to believe again. I don't judge you for the days you felt weak. Instead, I strengthen you to keep moving forward. And now, I tell you, the time has come for you to reap the reward of what you've sown in tears. The time has arrived for you to see with your own eyes what you've always believed in your heart. This moment is the one when your perseverance will be honored. I am just, and I never forget what you've done in faith. That's why I want to tell you today, your pain was not wasted. Your struggle was not in vain, and your story didn't end in silence. I am with you, and I'm starting to transform everything from this point forward. I am the God who speaks through signs, And today I want to open your eyes to one of those signs. From the beginning of creation, I established numbers as prophetic markers, codes that reveal my perfection and the fulfillment of my purpose. The number 7 has always stood for completion, for perfected fulfillment, and for rest after the work is finished. I rested on the seventh day because everything was complete. And today, before you, I bring the sign of 777 as a mark of what I am accomplishing in your life. 777 is not just a number, it is a heavenly declaration over you. It is the confirmation that what seemed unfinished is now coming to an end. It is the announcement that the waiting season is giving way to a season of fulfillment. It is the seal that the promises you've held in prayer are no longer suspended, but are being released in their fullness. This number carries the confirmation that I am faithful to finish what I started in you. You have walked through valleys, fought battles, and endured long periods of silence. But now I am showing you a sign so you can know that nothing you've gone through was in vain. 777 is the echo of my voice saying, I am still in control. I am still writing your story. I am still releasing what I promised you. When you see this number, remember that I have already declared victory over your life. It is a sign of abundance, of growth, and of promises fulfilled. Do not think this is a coincidence. I speak to you in ways you can understand, and this is a visible reminder of what's already happening in the unseen. 777 is like a prophetic key. Every time you speak it, every time you write it with faith, you declare that you receive the fulfillment of what I've already released. You are sealing in the physical what has already been established in the spiritual. That's why I invite you now to comment 777. Do not do it as an empty action, but as a prophetic move. Write 777 as if you were planting a seed of fullness. Write as if you were saying, I believe, I receive, I enter into the fullness. This number will be a visible sign of the decision you've made in your heart. By commenting, you align yourself with my word, making the spiritual reality known in the physical world. I see every action you take, and I honor every step of faith. Do not underestimate the power of a small gesture, because in my kingdom, nothing is small when it comes from a place of obedience. Your comment won't just be words. It will become a testimony. It will rise before me as a prophetic declaration, and I will respond by opening more doors, speeding up the processes, and releasing victories. 777 is a reminder that there are no delays in what I prepare for you. It is the confirmation that the waiting period is over, and the harvest is drawing near. So, receive this sign and respond with faith. Write 777 now as the seal of your promise, and you will see heaven move on your behalf. I am sending my angels for you. They are not far away or inactive. They are already around you, ready to clear the paths you could not walk alone. I have commanded them to protect you in every step, to hold you up when you are weak, and to break down the barriers that have stood in your way. Many dangers have been avoided without you even knowing, because my angels have been working in silence. The spiritual world is not just some far-off promise. It is a present reality. As you listen to my words, invisible changes are happening right now. Doors that once seemed closed are starting to open. What was blocked is beginning to give way. Chains are beginning to break, not because of your own strength, but because my word has been spoken, and my angels are carrying out every command in your name. They are messengers of my power, ministers sent to care for those who trust in me. I know that many times you have felt alone, as though no one was standing with you. But I want you to understand that you have never fought by yourself. There were battles you never even saw because I already sent my protection. There were attacks that couldn't touch you because my angels stood as a wall around you. There were paths that seemed dangerous, but they became safe because my messengers went ahead of you. Now, I tell you, a new season is unfolding before you. The angels I send are not just here to protect you, but also to speed up the promises I've made. They are tearing down the walls that have held you back. They are bringing the resources that were delayed. They are aligning people and circumstances in ways you cannot see. Nothing is a coincidence. Nothing is by chance. The angelic movement I have set in motion is already beginning, and you will soon see the results of it in your life. But it's not just about you. What I am doing in your life is also meant to touch the lives of those around you. I don't lift you up just so you can experience victory on your own. I do it so you can become a living testimony of my faithfulness. The work I am doing in you will reach your family, your friends, and even people you may not know, but who will be moved by your obedience. That's why I encourage you to share this word with faith. When you share, you become an instrument of my movement. You are no longer just a receiver. You become a transmitter. You don't just keep what I have given you, but you help others receive hope, guidance, and comfort. This action is not just a simple human gesture. It is an extension of your faith. Every time you obey and share, you increase the reach of my power. There are people waiting for this message, even if they don't realize it yet. There are hearts silently crying out, families in need of healing, lives teetering on the edge of despair. When you obey and share, you become the answer they are seeking. I have already prepared those who are ready to receive it. I have already aligned hearts that will open to hear my voice. Your actions will be the bridge that brings the miracle to them. I do not overlook any act of obedience. Every action you take in response to my word is a seed sown in the spiritual realm. When you decide to share, you are sowing hope. You are declaring that this word is not just for you, but for everyone who needs transformation. And I will multiply every seed planted in faith. Just as light cannot be hidden under a bowl, I do not want you to keep the word I give you today to yourself. The light I've placed in you must shine for others. The comfort I've given you must be spread. The victory I've brought into your life must be seen by all.